Secretary, welcome back. It's
Thank you.
always good to see you. I want to ask you about the partial claim payment program. And when that ended relatively abruptly, it was really destabilizing for a lot of veterans in New Mexico. Obviously, we're in a very different interest rate environment than we were at the beginning of the pandemic. What steps is the VA taking to ensure that folks impacted by that will be included in the servicer purchasing program that's been stood up?
Yeah, well, so we're reaching out to veterans who our data shows are struggling. We're communicating also as aggressively as we can to veterans to make sure that they're aware that we are standing up a new support program when the current moratorium expires at the end of this month, end of May. And, you know, we think that, and by the way, as a general matter, we're tracking veteran performance on their VA-backed mortgages because we have a whole series of programs not even associated with what we call the VASP, which is what will roll out when the moratorium ends, that we want to make sure that vets can avail themselves of through our debt management center.
Great.
So we're trying to communicate to vets individually. We're trying to communicate more generally to vets. And the new VASP program, which we've kept the committee up to date on, and will develop the implementation targets more aggressively over the course of the next 4 weeks, will allow us to make sure that veterans struggling do not lose their homes and come up with a more manageable debt picture over time.
Great. I know Senator Collins raised the highly rural transportation grant. I was pleased to be able to work to include some additional funding for that in FY24. My understanding, because I wasn't here when she asked her question, is that you may have referenced a legislative proposal in that area.
Yeah.
Do you want to expound on?
Well, we'd like to, you know, it serves, I mean, you and I, you're the first person to have raised this with me, and that's what I said to Senator Collins when we talked about it privately recently. New Mexico and Maine are uniquely poorly positioned based on the definition of highly rural, as, you know, fewer than 7 people per square mile. We would like to change that in statute.
Great.
Right, and we have some proposals on how we would do that.
Fantastic.
And then, you know, we would couple that with an increase, a commensurate increase in funding, because, you know, it's just, right now, we have too few counties who can participate.
And I'm certainly not going to speak for Senator Collins, but I suspect we would both look forward to working with you on that front.
Right.